Marijam Bieber. She's the founder of Nudo.
It's natural body care accessories. They're all 100% plastic free, vegan, and yeah, we only use paper packaging.
Fantastic. Okay, so we'll just go ahead with my questions for you. So you spent some time in Bali, and first of all, what was that like? How long did you spend, and what were you doing in Bali?
It was awesome. It was one of the most beautiful periods of my life. It was just half a year, but still so inspiring, and it changed a lot in my life.
So I guess in many ways, living in Bali is it's quite the opposite to living in the West and in Europe. Things are much slower. But Bali is also interesting because I'm from the Philippines, and these places are so geographically blessed. We have islands, we have beautiful pristine oceans, but at the same time, we carry the burden for a lot of the world's global plastic problem. And much of it comes from countries that don't have the greatest infrastructure for solid waste management. Places like Indonesia and the Philippines, I think, are the top two polluters of ocean plastic. But the products themselves are made by European multinationals. So how did your time in Southeast Asia kind of influence your decision to create Nudo, and how is this reflected in the brand's ethos?
So it was actually different ways, because like one part, like already the setting and atmosphere in Bali is just very inspiring, because as you said, it's just like naturally blessed. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful nature, beautiful surroundings, and there's a lot of digital nomads living there. So it's basically expats that just travel and work at the same time, and everybody has their own project, their purpose project, their own dream they're pursuing. So it's very inspiring, because everybody is working for themselves, working on their dreams and not working on dreams for somebody else, So that already was like a huge input for me, because I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. I want to do that as well. Then on the other side, as you also mentioned, there's a huge problem regarding trash. So for instance, you don't have clean tap water. So you just go and or find places where they provide like free water to drink, filtered water, or you need to buy plastic bottles. So there's a huge amount already of waste created by this, because this very basic facility is not given there. Yeah. So this is of course creating more and more trash. And then I was there, I was living there when it was rainy season. So with all the storms and weathers and rains and the currents of the sea just threw all the trash on the beaches. So basically you were on the other side of the world in this little gem, hidden paradise, beautiful beaches, and you just walk on the beaches and they were covered in trash. Yeah. It's just of course, natural, organic. These are all these words that are really, make consumers believe you, trust you, buy things, and often it's not even like that. So this is just when the idea came up, also regarding the paper packaging, because still there's a lot of natural products that are still wrapped up in plastic.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, we've seen some of your products because you sent us over a little package, and I checked it out myself, and super cool. And so there's this a cognac sponge with activated charcoal. There's bamboo brushes, the sisal fibers. So these are all some of the products that you sell that are naturally derived from plants. So how did you come about to learning about these plants and of their applications in beauty? And care and hygiene. And can you talk us through the process of product development? So do you start with the materials first and then think of an application, or vice versa?
So as I was saying, I was already using a lot of these products for myself. So I did not reinvent the wheel, because I mean, you brush your teeth every day, and I already did it with other bamboo toothbrushes, but bamboo in general was one thing. Then of course there were so many other things that I just started trying. I was like, okay, what could be an alternative for plastic? Like a plastic comb, could it be made of wood or bamboo or whatever? Like small little changes that at the end make a difference, or cotton swabs, they don't need to be made out of plastic, because also these items I found on the beaches, You can easily do them like in biodegradable material, and even if they end up in the nature, they would just biodegrade themselves over time, you know. So I was just trying to make these little switches from plastic to natural materials, reusable makeup remover pads, instead of like disposable ones, just, you know, to make things last. And sisal, actually sisal fiber, I was initially thinking to do another product with that. And then we just started making prototypes, but I figured out it was just way too hard for the product I had in mind, because sisal is a very strong and durable fiber, you know. So then I was just thinking, okay, this is way too hard for this product. I'm gonna make a nail brush because it's gonna be perfect, like the consistency. And yeah, I just like doing research. I just found other products like the conjugate sponge, which is made out of a root of a flower. So also all these things I didn't know before, because I'm coming from another background. So it was just learning by doing, you know.
So how do you source your materials? Where are they grown, and what's that process?
Yeah, so basically we've got a partner in Hong Kong, who is taking care about like he's finding the factories and taking care about the assessment centers, about the certificates. Like we're only working with highly certified factories, which are also used by, for instance, multinational companies, which are like super clean. And we just make sure to work with factories that are like 100% clean, that have all their certificates. They are like just followed regularly. So we have this partner that is making sure everything is working. He figures out the factories. He's helping us up during the production, of course, because also we needed to do some prototypes at the beginning to see what combination could work and stuff like this. So he's just like our right hand there. And then when it comes to like production and then shipping, it all gets like shipped or brought via train to Europe. So we make sure the footprint is low, but still, since we're not using plastic already, the footprint is quite low, because we're like by producing plastic, a lot of CO2 is emitted. We just make sure to use like natural materials, paper packaging, just to keep like everything low and just to have a clean product, you know.
Okay, so with the UN, with the adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals, sustainability is an essential guiding principle for businesses everywhere. Everyone's kind of jumping onto the bandwagon, but of course, not all of them are doing it right. So what are some of the key learnings from your own path to sustainability? And what are some of the future challenges that you anticipate as the beauty industry kind of responds to this greater demand for sustainable products?
So in general, it's not only the beauty industry, but every industry, like economy by itself, is just a disaster how everything works, like all the disposable products, all the packaging. I mean, even like a fruit, like if you look to the food industry, even a fruit that already has a peel is often wrapped up in plastic. Like a banana has an extra plastic wrap, which is just like it's insane, you know. So all the industry is just like really fucked up. So but I also see there is a lot of change happening, and I think it's almost like, or often, very often, coming from small businesses, from startups that just like have an idea, they see problems, they find or have the solution, or I mean, often the solution is also not that difficult to see. But I mean, it's mostly smaller or medium, large companies that just try to do a difference. But I also noticed on my way to sustainability that actually it's these companies that already try to make a change. They put a lot of effort, that at the end are attacked most, because, or you do it 100% perfect and right and everything clean and offset here and there, or you're just nothing,
Yeah.
So this is a huge problem, I think, because this is very terrifying. Because at the beginning, also me, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this and that. I can't like sell online because then it has a footprint here. And so this is actually, you need to start somewhere. And people at the beginning are often very, very critical.
It's interesting what you said about when you're a small company and you're setting out to be sustainable, and that's, your label and your mission. You're almost scared to put yourself out there because you're vulnerable to attack. If there's any one inconsistency in your company, then you get dragged for it. That's interesting, and I think your advice is to just start somewhere. I think is important to know, right?
Yeah. Also, I mean, you cannot do everything perfect, and this is also the main issue at the beginning for so many people.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, Marijam. It was great speaking to you.